Good afternoon. It's Sally Geiger with Geiger Properties. I wanted to go over another new situation that I'm dealing with a wholesaler in Rome, but let's go over the conversation I had with a property owner, excuse me, in Rome that I had a discussion with yesterday first. About a week or so ago, I had a local builder contact me, and she said that someone whose name was just Joseph, apparently Joseph is like Sharon, doesn't have a last name, contacted her to buy a property that he has under contract. Well, actually, he didn't mention it, but he has a property under contract to purchase from a property owner. I had a conversation with the wholesaler, and with permission of the person he contacted initially, the builder, I identified myself as, or at least I represented myself as, I never identified myself as, but I led him to believe that I was the person that he had sent the email to. After a while, I disclosed that I was actually a real estate broker and not the person that he sent the email to. And then he got a little upset. But what the scenario was he was going to sell this builder a parcel of land, and he was going to pay the seller, the owner, I should say, $16,000 for this property, which is a fair market price for that property. And he wanted to sell it to the builder for $26,000. And that's called capitalism. That's fine. But I didn't know all of the whole scenario at first. So immediately I tried to get a hold of the property owner. I got a hold of a relative, and she contacted him, and then he contacted me yesterday. And he said, well, I posted it on Craigslist. I got a lot of people that were interested in it, but this guy offered me a cash offer, and it was a decent offer. So we signed a contract and we're ready to go. And I said, well, the wholesaler told me you didn't have a closing date. And he said, no, we have a closing date. And he looked at his paperwork and he said, it's March 10th. And I said, okay, well then you've got 10 days or so to figure out if this is a scam or not. And I said, did he give you earnest money? And he said, well, he said he sent to the title company. And I told him that this person, Joseph, had actually told me that he wasn't sure if the title company he uses was even licensed to practice or however it is in Wisconsin. So this Joseph was going to get back to me when he thought he was talking to the builder. So supposedly he sent earnest money, but didn't send a receipt to the seller. So the seller doesn't really know if he sent any earnest money. I'm going to guess he didn't. And also, there's nothing, he's never talked to this buyer since. And what happens is the buyer scrambles after he's got this contract, whether, I don't know whether it's a legal contract or not. I haven't seen it. But after he gets this contract signed, he immediately starts scrambling for people. I don't know where he gets his information from. I just got one from a wholesaler this morning. Do you want to buy this land? Here's the price. And so maybe they'll make some money, maybe they won't. But I said, so, he hasn't given you earnest money. You have this contract that you don't even really know if it's legal or not. You think you have a closing date, but your buyer doesn't think he has a closing date. There's a lot of different things that he doesn't have protection. He doesn't. I said, did he show you that he has $16,000 to spend? That it's called a proof of funds, or does he have a lender pre-approval for that $16,000? And he said no. So I said, so basically you've got some clown that messaged you or contacted you through Craigslist. You may or may not know his whole name. This clown that's talking to me right now, his name is Alon. Okay. As opposed to a swimming pool, his name is Alon. But so there's protections that you have when you work with a realtor. Now, if this person is selling this property for $16,000 and the buyer has claimed that he's going to also pay his closing costs, let's just say that the guy, if he owns the property free and clear, the property taxes will be prorated. Is this Joseph going to pay for those? Is he going to pay for prorated association dues? Is he going to pay for prorated fire service or whatever that charges that we all just got the bill for? Is he going to do all that? Or, what are his closing costs that he's going to pay? Even if you list a property, some firms charge more than I do. But if you're going to list a property, say at 6%, so 6% of $15,000, if I'm doing the math correctly, is $900. So then we take it down from 16 to 15,000. If he's netting more than 15,000, good for him. Is the property worth more than that? I guess I didn't really do the research, but it has some value, but not necessarily. I mean, my first glance was it was worth 15,000. So if he has a legitimate contract and this all goes through, he's going to maybe have a good day because he's going to net $15,000, which is basically what I told him I felt it was worth without doing a ton of research. So I will hear back, but now I have another person who said, he called me and I was making lunch and the microwave was running and I didn't hear my phone ring. So I texted him back and he said, call me. And I said, well, who is this? And of course he didn't answer. I'm a wholesaler. I have a property I'm going to get a contract with, and I want to know if you're a cash buyer. And I said, well, I am a cash buyer, but what's your name? Who am I talking to? And I didn't want to call him back. I'm not in the mood for him today. So I texted him a few more times and I said, well, tell me where the property is. I can't tell you if I'm interested in the property if I don't know what the property is. He says, well, then you're just going to go to the seller and buy it yourself. Well, truth is, I'd probably try to, but if I had as much luck trying to reach this property owner as I did the property owner for the lot, it's going to be a couple days, excuse me, before someone actually gets back to me. But there's protections with working with a real estate agent. Commissions are negotiable. If you don't like a commission that a firm is asking you to pay them, negotiate. If they won't negotiate and they're your absolute favorite, well, then you have to choose them. You don't have any choice. But I think that for the most part, firms do a pretty good job. I'm just going to leave it at that, especially for, a lot of the lots that are for sale in Rome are cash. They're cash, they're maybe 15,000, 20,000. And a lot of people are paying cash. They want a quick close and there's not a lot to go wrong if, knock on wood, they don't have contingency. So they don't want, soil borings or things like that. So it can be pretty easy, but the bottom line is just be very careful. I'm not going to say you shouldn't trust somebody that you meet from Craigslist, but is it really worth it for $1,000 for you to potentially get scammed? I mean, what is he going to ask for next? The guy's bank information to wire him the money? I mean, it's just shady. So that's the story. I'm going to deal with this Alon. He wants future partners so he can bring deals for far below market value, even though he spelled market Marshall. But I knew he meant market. Anyway, that's it for me for today. Message me or call me if you have any questions, 920-253-6212. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching my black screen.